chapter Molecular Basis of Inheritance. Before going to the elaboration, first we need to know the term inheritance. What is inheritance? Inheritance is a process by which genetic information or genetic material transferred from one generation to another. That means from parent generation to offspring or child. Okay. So it is a process in which the genetic materials are transferred from parent generation to child generation and child generation to next generation and so on. The process is going on. Okay. So it is transferred from one to another. Now we have used one terminology that is called genetic material. What is this genetic material? We have already known about a number of macromolecules, that is carbohydrate, protein, lipid, DNA, RNA, etc. Okay, these are the macromolecules. We have already discussed it in class 11. So now which one is act as a genetic material among them? So we will know another term that is called nucleic acid. Nucleic acid. Okay, what is this nucleic acid? DNA and RNA. Deoxyribonucleic acid and ribonucleic acid. These are the full form of DNA and RNA. Okay, now which one is the genetic material of? Is that DNA? Is that RNA? Is that carbohydrate or is that protein? So there is an experiment that proves which one actually act as a genetic material. Is that DNA, RNA, lipid, protein or what? Frederick Griffith. He was a scientist in 1928. In 1928, he has done an experiment that proves which one act as a genetic material, means which one is responsible to carry the information from one generation to another generation. Okay, he is not actually a scientist. He was a medical person. He was a medical officer. Okay, who has carried out this experiment. He was dealing with one strain. The strain is Streptococcus pneumoniae. Streptococcus pneumoniae. NIAE. Streptococcus pneumoniae. It is a bacterium, a gram-negative bacterium. This bacterium develops a disease called pneumonia. ठीक है? So he has taken two type of strain. What these two type of strain? One is S and one is R. S for smooth and R for rough. these smooth and rough, two type of strain, R strain and A strain. R strain and A strain. This R strain produce a special type of colony which actually smooth, shiny, smooth and shiny in a Petri plate, and this R type of strain produce rough, colony. This R strain was non-infectious or avirulent. Avirulent means which has no virulence factor. Avirulent. And this smooth colony was virulent. Virulence means killing factor. Killing factor is there, and avirulent means there is no killing factor. There is no killing factor. Now, what has he done? He has taken, this is what the experiment name. Here experiment name was DNA is a genetic material. DNA is a genetic material. Okay, so this is genetic material, DNA, but we are not sure. Is that DNA or something else? He has taken one mice, and I have told that he has taken two type of strain. One is R strain, that is recognized as 2R, and one is A strain, which is recognized as 3S. This 2R strain is rough and non-virulent, and 3S is smooth and virulent. Now what has he done? He injected the mice with 2R strain and observed mice is alive. Second, he injected mice with 3A strain, and what he observed? These are the observation. Okay, observation. These are the observation. What he observed? He observed mice is dead. Mice is dead. He again take another attempt. In this case, he injected mice with heat-killed 3A strain, and he observed mice is alive. Now what is this heat-killed 3A strains? Means when he is injecting this bacterium into the mice body, before injecting he heat-killed. He killed the organism by heating process. Okay, and after heating after hitting the organism, those heated organism is injected into the mice, and he observed what he observed: mice is alive. He take another attempt, that is fourth attempt. What was his fourth attempt? He mixes the two colony, 2R plus heat killed 3S. Okay, he mixes the two type of bacteria, R strain and A strain. Now A strain, this A strain is heat killed, okay, means is treated with heat, and the alive R strain. These two R and 3S, and he observed mice is surprisingly dead. Mice is surprisingly dead. So first attempt he injected the mice with 2R bacterium. What we have seen, 2R bacterium was rough colony, produces rough colony, and it is non-virulent, and the mice was alive, no issues. In second attempt he injected mice with 3S. Now 3S produces smooth colony, and it is virulent, and mice is completely dead. In his third attempt he injected the mice with 3S strain, but this 3S strain was heat killed, means the organisms were already treated with heat, and he observed mice is alive. And number 4, he treated the mice with a mixture of bacteria, and this mixture contained the 2R, the rough strain bacteria which is non-virulent, and the heat killed 3S bacteria. And we don't know this 3S bacteria is virulent or non-virulent, but the observation was mice was dead. And he isolated, after all this observation, after all his observations, he every time he isolated the bacteria from the mice blood. Okay, at first attempt he isolated the bacteria from mice blood after and he got 2R bacteria. When mice is dead, he found the 3S bacteria in the dead mice blood, and when it is mice is alive, he found the bacteria. But in case when the mixture of bacteria is given to the or injecting to the mice, he found that only 3S bacteria is in the blood. When he attempted, is it in his third attempt, that is heat killed bacteria in mice, he didn't found anything. He found only 3S bacteria, that is it loses its virulence, it loses its capacity to kill mice. Okay, when it's dead, one thing I got a mistake, in 2R bacteria, when bacteria is alive, that is no issues, because this is already non-virulent. When it is 3S bacteria, that is bacteria, mice is dead, and he isolated the 3S bacterium from the blood, and when it is heat killed, that mice is alive, that means it can be concluded that the 3S strain loses its virulence ability, that's why mice is alive. Okay, heat treatment, after heating treatment, it loses its virulence factor. Now when the mixture, the 2R and 3S, the two mixtures are injected into the mice, and surprisingly mouse is dead, Griffith isolated 3S bacteria, only 3S bacteria, mind it, only 3S bacteria from the mice blood. Now how is it possible? There was two bacteria, 2R bacteria, rough bacteria, and smooth bacteria. Then how come it possible that only 3S bacteria is present? It means something is passed to this 2R bacteria, or something is transported or transformed. These 2R bacteria actually transformed. How this heat killed Trias bacteria? It loses its virulence factor. Okay, it loses its virulent factor. But in their genetic material, when their genetic material is transferred, heat kill 3S bacteria injected, mice is alive. That means whenever we use 3S bacteria, so there will be a probability to be alive in mice, to be alive. But when we found mice is dead, Griffith found mouse is dead, he concluded something happened, something transformed, and he found 3S bacteria from the mouse blood. And he concluded that somehow these two are bacteria has been transformed, but he couldn't ensure what is this. He only said that a transforming principle is responsible for transformation of non-virulent 2R to non-virulent 2R to a virulent one. But he couldn't conclude what is it. So still it has not been clear that DNA is a genetic material. Now Griffith's experiment is further followed up by three scientists whose name was Avery, MacLeod and McCarty. These three scientists followed the Griffith's experiment. They have done this experiment in 1930 to 1940. Okay. What they have done? They have taken 3S bacteria. 3S bacteria, we know this is virulent bacteria, virulent one. They lysed the 3S cells with detergent. They lyse the cell with detergent. Okay. Now after lysis, they have done centrifuge. Okay. Centrifugation. Just one thing. Let me clear what is centrifugation. Suppose it is nothing but a spin down, a speed up spin down. Just only know about it. Just only this much is enough. A spin down process. In this process, what I have done, the cell debris, it will sedimented at the bottom, cell debris, and the cleared supernatant will be upside. Supernatant. Okay, they have taken this supernatant. This supernatant is or you have also called cell extract. Cell extract. This cell extract is incubated with 2R bacteria. Okay, they first they have done, they have taken the 3S bacteria. They have taken the 3S bacteria. These 3S bacteria, they lysed with what? Detergent. They have used a detergent. It is mainly SDS. We'll discuss all these things. What is the procedure of different cell lysis in our biotechnology chapter, but only this time you should know the term. This is a detergent. It is sodium dodecyl sulfate, so SDS, which has been used for lysis of cell. Okay, now they lyse the 3S cell and then centrifuge. Centrifuge is nothing but a spin down process. Okay, now they have got two things. One is cell debris, which is at the bottom of the ependrome, bottom of the centrifuge tube, and above them a clear supernatant, which is called cell extract. Now these cell extract that has been derived from 3S cell centrifugation, this cell extract will be incubated with the 2R bacteria. Okay, 2R bacteria, and then plated. But what has they seen? They seen in a petri dish the colony are actually 3S type. 3S type. How is it possible? They have lysed the cell. Already it has been lysed. Then how come it possible to get a 3S type colony? Their lives, who was live? 2R was live. This was the live cell. So we should get this type of 2R type of colony. But instead of getting 2R colony, they have got 3S type of colony. They thought something has been, somehow this 2R has been transformed into 3S. But how? They thought this cell extract, obviously this cell extract contains something that is responsible for the transformation of 2R into 3S. Okay, because they have incubated the cell extract with this 2R colony. Okay, so 2R bacteria was alive. 3S is already dead because we have lysed the cell, we have centrifuged it, and all the cell debris, they have been sedimented at the bottom, and the clear supernatant was the upside of the centrifuge tube, and this supernatant we have taken and incubated it with 2R bacteria. Okay, but colony should be 3S type, but colony should be 2R type, but we have seen it is 3S type of colony. So they thought there must be something in the cell extract that is responsible for the transformation of 2R into 3S. So it may be protein, it may be fat, it may be DNA, it may be RNA, whatever it may be. Now they have used a enzymatic treatment, a number of enzymatic treatment. Okay, we know proteinase. What is proteinase? Proteinase is responsible for the degradation of protein. Nuclease is responsible. Two type of nuclease are there, because nucleic acid, one DNA is also nucleic acid and RNA is also nucleic acid. So nuclease enzyme is responsible for the degradation of DNA and RNA. If we use DNase, then it will destroy the DNA, because DNA is, and if we use RNase, it will destroy the RNA. Okay, so after degradation, they used a carbohydrate degrading enzyme. Okay, that only destroy the carbohydrate part or the polysaccharide part. After degrading polysaccharide part means the cell extract which treated only with carbohydrate degrading enzyme and then incubated with TR and then plated. They have got 3S type of colony. When they treated the proteinase after polysaccharide degradation over, then the cell extract is treated with proteinase. After treating proteinase and incubated with 2R bacteria, same thing happens. 3S bacteria arises. How? Proteinase degrade the protein. That means protein is also not responsible for the transformation of 2R to 3S. Then they used RNase. When they used RNase, they still find the same result, that 3S colony is in the plate. They conclude RNA is also not responsible for the transformation of 2R to 3S. Then who remains? Only DNA remains, because we didn't use DNase. Na? So only DNA remains. We have used RNase, we have seen 3S bacteria. We have used proteinase, we have seen 3S bacteria. We have used polysaccharide degrading enzyme, we have seen 3S bacteria. That means in every cases 2R bacteria has somehow been transformed into 3S. We only didn't use DNase. That means they conclude DNase, that is deoxyribonucleic acid, they have lastly they used DNase. And when they used DNase, they have seen no 3S bacteria in the plate. No, nothing in the plate. Okay, no 3S bacteria in the plate. Then they conclude that this DNA is responsible for the transformation of 2R into 3S. Clear? So, what Griffith has been concluded that one factor or some factor, some macromolecules is responsible for the transformation of 2R to 3S bacteria, and that's why when he injected the mixture of 2R and 3S, and the mouse is surprisingly dead. But he couldn't conclude what was that transforming principle, the DNA, RNA, protein or carbohydrate or fat or whatever. He couldn't conclude. In 1930 to 1940, in this span of time, Avery, MacLeod and his colleague McCarthy, they have carried out a series of experiments by taking that 3S bacterium and 2R bacterium, and then they find out or they reach to a conclusion that DNA is the responsible for the inheritance or the transformation of genetic material. Okay.